Hi everybody, welcome back to Rusty Gears Season 4 Episode 60 with me, Sid, and Gran has just signed in. So, yeah, I was on my own. She's literally just signed in as I slept. And we are back over at the... Let me just slow my light down. Back over at this ruin over here that myself and Gran went and raided last time. Now I am raiding it for stuff that is more mundane than our usual loot goblin runs. I'm after building materials. I am wanting to start building. Very tempted to have these down, you know. I mean, the fuel if nothing else, so you can cook with them. And they're in the way, so let's just have rid of them, shall we? I'm probably going to get a whole load of stuff that I don't want, but that's fine. They'll be out of my way. So, yeah, one of the common complaints about Better Ruins is that it's overpowered. And I kind of agree when it comes to building loot. I don't think it's overpowered for loot. I think you can get the odd thing which seems a little bit OP. But if we're totally and brutally honest, for the most part, it's just because you can get hold of a whole load of things. Now, what I actually wanted for this building and this work was I'll just keep everything for now. It's not like I haven't got some storage free, not as much as I'd like, but you know, some. So yeah, I need a lot of things. I would have liked limestone. I'm not entirely sure where I've seen a limestone ruin, so in the absence of limestone, I'm working down. I'm going to go with claystone, which will work. It just means I need to change up the colour of the wattle and daub that I use for the other part of the other thing. I need some roofing materials, so we are going to grab those. But right now, I am just harvesting a whole load of this cathedral ruin, just because we can. While we're here, if I do come across any further or more aged logs for Gran, anything that she missed, candles maybe, then we'll grab them, because, you know, good neighbours and all. But yeah, this is just a very, very rich source of building materials for what I need. The other thing I'm going to go back to is the castle that I didn't actually show the footage of myself and Gran going because it had been raided. So whilst Gran had, you know, blocks that she could take for building, because, you know, again, we raid for things that are far more esoteric than riches. We raid for building blocks. We raid for things that we can use in our builds. It wasn't as, you know, the mobs in there were all fairly basic spawns or surface drifters, things like that. So I didn't include it, but it has got some more claystone blocks and possibly some of the ones, because I don't think this has really got much in the way of the cobblestones. That one over there has, but I think less, potentially, as far as I'm concerned, less practical for us. So just going to grab myself a whole load of blocks, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Yep, next, dry stone, ash log, cobble, and cobble at the other castle. The other blocks are too tidy. Now, these are chiseled, these are not, so we need to make sure that we don't pick up the chiseled stuff, because I don't want that. I just want the the intact blocks, but there's plenty. So yeah, let's grab a whole load of this, and again, I'll be back in a mo. And let's not forget, oh, turn my phone off, let's put that on. Let's not forget that we need food. So I've got protein, I've got dairy, I've got wheat. I need 16, preferably pickled. Can I put 30? Can I use those? Maybe. I'll give them a try. If not, 16 of these sliced up. And some fruit, which we will go with. I need 32, so we might as well just use 32 dried cranberries. Seeing as they're all going off, and at that point we can go. Let's have a look. I need to clear myself some stuff, so we're going to go you to you with that, and that in. I think that will work, so we should be able to go chump, 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 chump. Not dried. Okay. Got to be fresh. Well, that's a pain, isn't it? In those go. I still need them to be fruit, although my character's fruit is pretty good, so let's just go down and have a look, see what we've got, if anything, in the garden. I need 32. Need to slow down a bit as well, although I'm going to face plant into things. That'll do. Right, yeah. Because you can't go excavating and making, grabbing building materials on an empty stomach. Everybody's well-known fact. Not that, so... Right, yeah, let me just go and put the cabbage away then. Bye-bye. We shall pick up that sandwich there, which is part made. We'll stick these down. Oh, come here. I don't need 16, do I? I only need 8, I think. So I only need 32. You get 2 per, alright, so I probably do need 16. Quickly get these done. Because one thing I hadn't realised is dyeing really screwed up my diet. Yeah, it will, won't it, really? It'll put a crimp on your weight loss plans. So yeah, we're going to make up half a stack of these sandwiches, which should be pretty good by the time we've finished. That's got, oh yeah, you've got one too many, haven't you? Let me just make sure that these stack up. It confuses me if I'm not careful, which is not difficult, to be fair. And that is our sandwich, which is pretty good. Not huge on nutrition, but you know, it'll be fine. So to make these stack, you just make sure they are all the same. And whilst variety is great, I find inventory slots are even better. Get these made, and then we are going to head off and get another resource gathered. So, and I'm fairly certain that nobody else is using this particular resource. Gran's after the aged wood. I don't think she's after the tiles from those manors, so I'm going to go and grab the roof tiles from them. I'll see you in a moment. And of course, roof tiles. That is possibly some plaster, but roof tiles, this is where we come for our roofing materials. Need to be a little bit careful that I don't throw myself into the depths, but I have also cleared the ravine of locust nests, so Gran, when she comes down to continue harvesting the various timbers and woods from this place, can feel a lot more secure now, safe in the knowledge that all of those locusts are gone. Can't speak for any of the other nasties, although I didn't see any of the what are they called, saw blades. So few surface shivers and a bow torn, but again there was just surface variety, so not a significant threat by in anybody's book really. Well, at least not at this level of the game anyway. I'll probably also grab some of these blocks, but I'm just going to grab a whole load of this roofing material. These are an absolute pig to make. If you actually look at these, oh hello, no, if you let me turn that off. If we H, I always hit R. I want to R because that's a Minecraft thing. It's basically those or that, and those are made by making well, you can break those or you can make the grey shingles, which actually does it look like you can even craft these anymore. I'm not entirely sure whether you can, you know. Let me just have a look. Fired grey shingle, raw blue shingle. Oh yeah, there you go. So it's clay forming blue into those into a thing. So they're a real pain, especially now you have to use a beef hive kill. I mean, they were complicated enough before. So yeah, these are very valuable resources in terms of roofing, and we will be probably stripping every non-chiseled block out of this thing that is chiseled. You see, those are chiseled, and I can't do anything with chiseled. I can't break them back down, so yeah, not a huge amount of use to me, but these definitely, and this plaster probably as well. So this is going to be a big old piece of excavation, because these ruins are big. There's two of them as well. I'll see, possibly just do the one for this session, mainly because it's so damn hot and I'm just sweating cobs in this office with all of this stuff what we do need to do, and it's not the safest of locations. I'm sure there's still monsters and the likes lurking around, so let me continue. I'll see you in a short while. So I think part of the problem of this ruin is not that it's got all of, well, I mean, it has got all of this lovely building materials, which makes it, you know, very valuable from a building material perspective. The big problem in my eyes is that the bloody roof's solid. This is a solid lump of grey shingle blocks. You know, if this was actually just the outskirts with a hollow centre, whether the hollow centre was spawnable, accessible, whether there was anything in it, I mean, all of that is irrelevant. If it was actually built as a roof, this would be way less overkill, because you wouldn't be getting multiple well, you would still get multiple stacks of tiles, because I mean, look at it, there's so much roof down there, it's untrue, but it would be definitely a lesser quantity. I mean, obviously any resource like this is going to get raided. This is Vintage Story 101. Players will rip these things apart for building materials. It's well, at least we will. But yeah, it could have been made a little bit less extreme with a less solid roof, shall we say. just my two penneth, you know, and I get why it may have been done this way. It's quick, sometimes it's easy to get the actual blocks paired off nicely with their faced off properly, so you can place them without hassle. But it does mean that this is a treasure trove of just expensive, hard to make building blocks. Not significant, I mean, they're not even significantly hard to make, they're just awkward. And as a result, this is a valuable resource. So, I'm not complaining. I've probably got more than enough now, if I'm brutally honest, but then you've got all of these which we can have as well, so we might as well grab a load of this. I'm tempted to just grab a load of this stripped aged logs and take them, drop them off at Gram's while I'm out here, save her a trip. But then she'd lose. She wouldn't have the fun of coming out and stripping this place of the valuables that she wants. So yeah, it's probably better to leave this intact, isn't it? I mean, that's all heavy rotten ebony planks. I'm not sure whether to take some of those for the floor for what I'm intending to build. I can always come back for them if I need them. Let's not get too carried away. If I try and plan ahead too far, I'm going to end up with a lot of stuff that I don't need. I mean, to be honest, I don't need these. I've got no plans for these whatsoever. But they are quite modern looking bricks, so they might come in handy. And there's possibly uneven. So if we had the stonemasons bricks, then we can make them uneven, that's actually quite sweet. These are nice. What did I just pick up? I know I picked up something. Don't want you. This is one of the downsides. I just picked something up, haven't I? Yes, okay. Portable trash can, that's what we need. Anyway, I think we've probably got enough here, and I'm not going to go mad. Obviously, Bran's got her beacon over here, so we could set our own if we wanted. But I'm happy enough just dropping this lot in there. You're chiseled, don't want you. And that, yeah. Leave that there and drop that. Right, where's my tenty bag? Let me eat, because I'm going to have to pick this up. We're going to head back and we're going to make a start, not a massive start, but a start. Look at this. She's all ready for pillaging the heck out of this building. And we know what she wants. She wants all of this. I think yours wants an angel belt because it will make this a hell of a lot easier. Yeah, there's nothing in here right yet. I've done this a few times, this actual thing, and I don't think there's any goodies in here that I could use. I mean, the purple table's always nice. That's just ice and rot. Quite some stuff's already gone. All of this blocks down here are useful. If Gran doesn't want them, I'll have them, but I'm not going to take them. What I am going to do is I am going to head back down to Mr. Swirly Swirly Translocator and get myself home, and I'll see you there. If you ever have a slight problem with fox overpopulation and you end up with one of these foxholes, for want of a better phrase, this is a valid way of killing them. It's not very humane, but it is perfectly valid. And then what we can do is we can just grab a whole load of dirt and fill the hole up, so in the future we don't end up with a foxhole. And in the case of that one, actually it was a wolf hole at one point as well. So, you know, just grab myself a little bit of building material to fill the hole in and we'll be good and happy. Yeah, I didn't record it while I was doing it because the sound was quite frankly unpleasant, as I'm sure you can imagine. But yeah, viable solution to a problem. What I should really do, because foxes can spawn on dirt, I think I need to make sure that all of the dirt blocks are fully covered, so I may need to do a little bit more digging somewhere, get myself some more blocks. I don't mind if drifters and the like spawn down here, it doesn't really bother me, but what I want to do is stop that kind of hole full of foxes appearing. So we need to do the same there. These are obviously all temporary. Can't quite reach you, can I? If I had a spear I could. Or a bow. That works as well. Yeah, so I definitely need... Oh, interesting. The backpack there. Empty. Wonder whose that is. Whose elk is that? That's Punk's. Okay, probably Punk's backpack then. Oh, and I just definitely need to do that. But yeah, let me just quickly address the holes, and the reason I want to address the holes is I want to build up here. I want to build a dockside tavern. It won't be in keeping with that. It certainly won't be in keeping with that. But it will be in keeping with the dockside tavern and those and this kind of medieval area. And I need a break from the modern. The modern is quite taxing because you're trying to do something which is very, very outside of the realms of what vintage story normally does. I think that's the best way I can describe it. Anyway, I'm going to go get some dirt. I'll be back in a bit. Alright, the next day I had a break between recording and we are back at base. I've laid out a foundation area and that's basically the lower level. I need to make wattle and daub for the top level. We're going to apply my usual technique here. This is going to be broad brush strokes, almost, you know, just painting the wall one colour, then detail, then refine, then detail. So we're going to have claystone blocks at the bottom. I've decided I'm going to go with light brown daub, which needs limestone or chalk sand for that. So we're going to have to go and grab some of that, but let me just have a look at wattle. I can't remember what is in the wattle fence. Is pretty much sticks with a knife. So we'll just make a few of those. I'll keep a few sticks. I always like to have sticks on me. I don't know why, because it's not like, you know, I couldn't find a stick should I need it. But let me just get myself up in the air and let's go and start off like that. So the wattle, because obviously wattle and daub is a build-up process, is going to come around like this. And again, I'll probably just build out the entire walls and then chop out windows and the likes. It's a lot easier sometimes to do that than it is to. I'm probably going to need a lot more sticks, aren't I? Probably gonna need a lot more sticks. Still, this is reasonably straightforward, so. And I'm not going to get this building is not going to be finished this episode, but it has got a name in my head now. It is because it's a pub, an establishment of drinking, which of course Punk will very much approve of. It needs a pub-like name, and that is going to be the Inebriated Elk. So I'm going to obviously chisel a sign for that. I don't know what that will look like yet. I'll put my considerable artistic talents, not really, I'll put whatever artistic talents I can find on standby so we can get that done, but this should be fairly straightforward. I need sticky. Oh, have I got any wattle for starters? Oh, I've got 94 of them, okay. Well, that'll do. I suppose I've got any. I've got ashen. That's the andesite one. I don't want the andesite yet, so I want light brown. That is going to be the bigger job, so I'm going to need a fair amount of material to go and build that. But let's just get the structure in, and then this little community bit down here. I mean, not community. This little area will start to kind of knit into the theme of the docks, and we'll have that. We'll get this all set up. We've got the little thing up there. We'll probably do something over here, small building. This is me. This is meat and potatoes to me. This is the kind of building that I always like to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4. Or do I want to fit? We'll go 4. We'll go with 4. I think 4's high enough. 2, 3, and we'll make it out. We'll corner it out just so it does, fit properly. Because then I need to decide what I am doing. I think I'm going to do the roof peak like that, with a small peak off of this side, perhaps. I suppose I could have brought this straight across, couldn't I? Could have done. No, let's not play. Would be visibly more interesting, though. Do you think? Oops, that's not the right tool. Having a split level roof like that would, I think, be a more interesting design choice if we were to come straight across like this. So this is the second story, and this stays low down. I'm going to need my tent out in a moment. 2, 3. Like that, perhaps. Because then we can tent. I need my tent. Tent. Let me do some tentage. That will have the blocks I need in it. Also eliminating some of my hunger, which is a bit more of a pain, but there you go. And we can grab some of that lot for now. So if I wanted that to go and hang over the side, as I will do, so you've got 1, 2, 3 on there, that will be, So that will go like that, and then like this. Like that. And then we need to climb this up, don't we? And we can fill in later. Because I think I'm going to put attic rooms in this as well. Which means I'm going to need to break some of these down to make the peak, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like a building. We'll do that over here as well. Get that in, and then, well, let me just continue a bit, and I'll be back once I've got this a little bit closer to finished. Back in a minute. All right, I need my saw, because I need to take these and saw them in half. Okay, grab those. I'm going to take those and I'm going to turn those into those. And then I might as well just make a batch and keep those. And that should give me everything I need to cap off the roof. Now the roof again has got no detail on it. It is literally just a straight triangular roof, and I've not put any dormer windows or anything, no chimneys, no nothing. It is utter thing, like I say, blank canvas. It's, to me, I think it's probably one of the most useful steps, methods of building. You know, some people can go straight and start building on the detail. For me, I like to just get straight in there, I suppose it's a box, isn't it? You start off with a box and then you kind of fill in from there. Now I'm going to need a lot more wattle, but first things first, I also need daub. So let me, do I take you, or do I just take a big old chest with me with some space? I can take that, I suppose. My shovel's new, so we can just drop those off and we'll take you. So luckily limestone desert is not in short supply and it's very close by, so we're going to head over and dig a whole load of, is that not rendering in, or am I just seeing weird lighting artifacts? I know Punk needs an angel belt. He wants, I might lend him mine if he's desperate, because I don't think he wants to make one. He's never been one for actually wanting to use it. You know, even when, you know, we all have our own little styles of play, and that is absolutely fine. But you know, now and again there are certain things which are just made a hell of a lot easier by things. So I don't know why QP thinks I didn't like these. I don't dislike them. I just think they're cursed images. And the cows agree with me. Right, let's strip from here. And yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of sand excavating. I think it's this one I need, isn't it? H. That will allow me to make light brown daub. I'm going to need a lot of dirt, a lot of grass, and a lot of clay. Probably need to go and get some clay if I can. But first, let me get a whole load of stacks of limestone sand. Might grab the gravel as well, because then I can just whack that straight into my my sifter, my sieve. Yeah, why not? Makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, much digging later, I will be back. We're also going to need a lot of blue clay, and we're also going to need a lot of grass cuttings and dirt. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full stacks of that. So I need 8 full stacks. If I look at this, I'm going to need 8 full stacks of blue clay and 8 full stacks of dirt. I don't think it has to be high fertility. I think it's any old, yeah. And then 16 full stacks of grass. So I didn't bring my scythe with me, which is annoying. So we'll do the grass separately. But this, I had a hunt around on the map. There's blue clay there. There's blue clay there. That's fire clay. That's fire clay. That is probably fire clay up there, if that is anything to go by. But you know, that's probably blue. There's plenty about. That's clay. That's clay most likely. You know, it doesn't take. You just have to get used to it. I mean, this is why I prefer the full colour map to the faux colour map that we have. That it's just better in every aspect. So we're going to dig. I'm going to dig up a whole load of clay and then a whole load of dirt. I may do the dirt at the same time as I do the grass. I may head back and you know, do the sensible thing and clear the grass off of the glass off of the dirt before I start stripping out the dirt from underneath it. That way we're getting, like, you know, 2 resources from the same spot. Makes sense, I think. But yeah, right now 4 stacks of 128. I'll probably just clear the space actually if I can fit it in the box. But yeah, more resource gathering, always with the resource gathering. Back in a mo. Alright, and the last piece of the puzzle is grass. 16 stacks of it. If it stacks to 64. If it stacks to more than 64, then it'll be less than 16 stacks. But probably my least favourite building material to gather. I wish there was a way to farm it better. I mean, I'm not helping myself by working on this broken terrain here, so I'll leave this and go for areas where there's a lot more grass, because you want to maximise your grass per swing. You know, nobody wants to waste their swingage and not get enough grass for their effort, and there's better patches to work on. So yeah, we'll work on. I think somebody else has been gathering dirt over here. Just if you look at the shape, this definitely has the appearance of a communal dirt gathering spot. I didn't actually. I gathered it. I gathered all my dirt where the clay was. So I've dug up all the clay. I actually should have. I should have. Hold on. I think it's that one. Yeah. Let's delete that, because that's now just bare stone. But got way more clay than I'll need anyway, and that's fine. You can never have too much of stuff. Oh, and it's so it's 4 stacks of grass, I think. If this stacks to, well, it looks like it's going to stack to 128, so that will be better than having to work on 8 stacks. Actually, 16 stacks. It's going to be 8 stacks of, yeah. It's double, isn't it? It's 2 per. Oh, I hate this. There's got to be an easier way. Anyway, in the absence of an easier way, I'll be back in a bit. Oh, right, some time is passed. We have got 8 stacks of that. We've got dirt, we've got clay, we've got sand, we've got that. Dirt, grass, sand, clay. Dirt, grass, sand, clay. Bang. Bang, 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 bang. Just 'cause, you know. See, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? You. Take all that daub. And all that daub. And then we can do dirt, grass, sand, clay. That full? That's full. Right. So what I'm going to do, oh hello. I've put the wattle in already, so the entire thing is wattled. We are just going to do every block in the first instance up to 10. So up to this style. That requires 10 daub per block, which is why I needed so much, because we're going to do that. Then we'll work out where we want to put the detail. So where windows go in, things, we'll put the walls in underneath again. We'll also where we want to put in the windows. And once we've got all of that done, we can then apply more daub strategically to basically smooth out the bits. I don't want it all to be broken like that. This is, you know, it's supposed to be a dockside tavern, but it doesn't have to be a complete dive. And then we can, once we've got those kind of details in, I mean, these details are going to be very just rough at the moment in the first instance. Where are the windows going? Oh, we're going to have a window here. It's going to be 3 high. Now they're not going to be 3 high. It's going to be an arched window, which will probably be 2. Well, we might manage some big ones on this side. I don't know, but we might also manage a mezzanine floor going up, and then, you know, we'll work this out. This is all part and parcel of developing these builds. But we can basically fill up on daub again and come on and carry on filling. So I've got to get this done. Once we've done all of that, this will be solid, and we will, oops, I pushed that one a bit too far. Doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world if I do one by accident, but you know, yeah, continue on getting this done. So I will see you in a short while. All right, well, there we go. The broad brushstrokes are done. I've got walls, I've got roof, I've got other walls. It's all wattle and daub at the top, it's all clay stone at the bottom. I did decide to swap out the bottom row to that harder impacted thing, just to give a bit of variation. We will obviously vary this up a hell of a lot more with the other blocks and everything. I do need a nice screenshot, and yep, once again I fall in the water. Can't get off that boat without getting wet. But that is probably going to be it for this episode. We are getting our hit points back steadily. We're going to have to do more sandwiches, but Inside, it really isn't anything to look at. It's a big, ugly, horrible space. Nothing, and outside it's still a big, ugly, horrible space. But if the devil is in the detail, then we are not only going to get the old Nick himself, but we are going to engage virtually the legions of hell on this one. This is going to be a very, very detailed build, because obviously this is a very, very detailed dock. So we're going to put a lot of thought and effort into this. Get a nice bar. It's going to be a pub. It's going to be an inn. Probably a small kitchen area. And yeah, we'll see what we get. But it's been a lot of material gathering. There'll probably be a lot more material gathering, because I'm going to need a floor for in here, and I don't know what I'm going to use. Probably probably wood. I'm just wondering, you see, if you actually look at the cover, you can't be. Let me just, I'm trying to find this. No, let me have a look. It's the stonemason's blueprint. I think that is the beastie. I can't remember. There you go, damaged stone overlay. So it's the overlays. That's your damaged stone, which allows you. Well, if we can find the stonemason, I know Gran has got one, but let's have a look at overlay. I want to see what is that the only overlay we can get. Can't get the moss overlay. I wish we could get all of those. You know, they obtained by breaking. Oh, that's a C1. That's the C1, isn't it? Okay. Wish we could get all of those mossy blobs that you get on. You get them on the trees and stuff. They just would make life. It'd be great if we had that kind of capability to build. Oh, I'm at it. What? Oh, come on. What have you got? Ooh, you got 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have those. Opaque, no. Red, no. Brown, no. No, no, no. No to all of those, but I'll take the clear. That's always nice. But yeah, this is the start of the tavern at the OG spawn. It's definitely the Inebriated Elk. I will have to do some work on a sign for that, but work out what we're going to do here. As I say, we're going to probably stick some dormer windows sticking out up here, so we'll have some space in the roof where there'll be a floor, and then, you know, maybe 2 rooms in each side. How we get the stairs going up, that will matter. That will be an interesting one as well. Again, we're going to use stairs that are more rustic in nature. We're not just going to use stair blocks. So yeah, I think we're going to have some fun with this. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Bye for now.